Hello class. Today we are going to start talking about genetics and hereditary, sorry, hereditary. You put your name and data in the paper I provided for you. Let me know when you're ready, just raise your hand. Okay, you ready? All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, it says here, please complete the activity below during the Promethean board lesson. It says part A, fill in the blank. The DNA is found in the blank of cell. Do you have the answer for that? You don't have it? All right, so take your time and look it up though. Look at the little chapters that we have. It should be right there. Let me see the paperwork. Hold on. What? What are you looking at? Okay, there we go.
The nucleus?
The nucleus. Good job. So yes, DNA is found in the nucleus of the cell. Okay? Just anytime you need help, just let me know. Don't give up, don't stress out, okay? So the next one, it says human inherit blank chromosomes from their mother and from their father. How many chromosomes do they inherit from their mother and father?
23 each.
23 each, correct. Number 3, it says section of the DNA that codes from the trait is called a what?
It's called a gene.
Okay, gene. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna have you come up and do the matching on this one. You can bring your paper up with you. Bring this up with you, and you can come up here and do the matching. Let me get the pen going for you. So the first one, it says a physical character such as eyes and color. Which one would that be? Let's make sure our pen works though. Pick your color first. Which one you want? Just but you can put it behind. If it's easy, whatever, which one you want to put it behind, or if you want to do the drawing, whatever you want to do. Okay. And the next one says a tool used to predict genetic outcome is what? Yep, that's good. There you go. Number 3, a unit of heredity that codes for a protein. Correct. And the last one, structures inside the nucleus that contains DNA. Correct. All right. So, I'm gonna go. My bad, I keep forgetting. Oh, I erased the answers, but it's okay. Let me see if I can go back. I think I can go back. Give me a moment. Did it disappear? Okay, I'm sorry. You might come back up here and do it again. I'm so sorry about that. So we can make sure everybody else can have it when they come in the classroom. Thank you. Oh. There you go. Okay, before you sit down, can you do one more for me? I want you to do the multiple choice right here for me, part C. I'm just gonna move it up. Let me exit first. That's what I did wrong last time. All right, can you do the last one, part C? It says, which of the following correctly shows the order from the smallest to the largest? Okay, give me a moment. There you go. B, gene and DNA chromosome nucleus. Yes. Okay, so either you can do this one. Part D, you can either tell me it verbally or you can write it up there. Which one you want to do? You can have a seat and do it if you want to and tell me verbally, or you can stay up here and write it. It's your choice. You want to sit it down? Okay. It's to explain why Euclid squares are important when learning about right here.
Punnett squares help predict the probability of traits being passed down from parents to offspring.
Okay. So you're saying that it says predict? So pretty much you saying it says predict, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or does it
Like
explain?
traits. Like predict the possible traits.
Okay. I got you here. Excuse my writing. Predicts the possible traits. We're just gonna reread it. Oh, come on. I need to get my pen. It'll be easier, but sorry. Excuse my writing, guys. Alright, that sound okay?
Yes.
Alright, so make sure you put your name and date on that one. We're gonna turn it in. We're gonna get on to the next one. Before we go on there though, I do want to show you guys that says how does genes pass from parent to child. So this is pretty much what we're talking about right here. How the gene, excuse me, the gene and the DNA and chromosome nucleus. So it's going to show you here inside the cell, and then it moves from the cell here, and then it moves down to the chromosome, the DNA, and then it's segments of the DNA. So here it says to form a fetus and eggs from the mother and sperm from the father comes together. The egg and sperm each have 1/2 of a set chromosome. The egg and sperm together gives the baby the full set of chromosomes. So half of the baby DNA comes from the mother and half of it comes from the father. That's pretty much what we were just talking about on, I think we were talking right here, number 2, when it said when they inherited. Okay? Sorry you guys, let's get ready for the next one, please. Pull out your paperwork. You guys, so we're going to, let me expand this one a little bit more now. Just enough to see the multiple choices, I think. All right, here we go, you guys. This one is the Amoeba Sisters. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them before, but I like it. It's cute to me. It says DNA, chromosome, genes, and traits, and intro to heredity. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. We're going to start it. You guys have your paper out? All right, here we go.
The week before the first day of my first year of teaching, well, over a decade ago, was an exciting time. It was also stressful because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but a bit of a messy, unable to decorate my classroom kind of perfectionist. Actually, maybe I'm not a perfectionist. I wanted to make my classroom inviting and exciting, and I really wanted my students to walk in and think, this is amazing. I could never make it look like what I imagined of, but the most amazing thing did happen in the week to follow. I knew a colleague who had a friend who had a son who was going to college. Confusing. But anyway, that son could not take his pet snake to college with him. Some rule about dorms and snakes. My colleague asked, would you like it? They said they can give you the cage and everything. It could be a classroom pet. I didn't even have to think about it, of course. So Spike, a Texas rat snake, became a classroom pet. An amazing, popular one at that. He was friendly, well, for a snake. He'd let you hold him and not bite. That year I was the only one in the science wing with a pet snake, and I'm pretty sure there were some people that wondered, what was the point? Well, I'm big on relevance, so anytime I would teach a biology concept, I found some way to work in Spike. Predation? Well, let's talk about Spike's appetite for rats. Mitosis? Let's talk about why Spike even needs to make more cells. One day in tutorials, a student asked me, since Spike's parents were bred in captivity, did you ever see Spike's parents? Do you think Spike's parents looked like him? You can't ask a question like that and not expect an answer. It was a great question because we were getting close to our heredity unit. Heredity is about how traits are passed down from parent to offspring. We've made a playlist of our videos that focus on heredity.
Okay, first one. What is heredity? Which one do you think it is?
When traits are passed down from parent to offspring.
All right, let's see. Correct, good job. All right, let's go to the next one.
Including reproduction, how to track inheritance and pedigrees, how to solve genetic problems in Punnett squares, and understanding different Mendelian and non-Mendelian inheritance. But you really can't delve into those and study heredity back to the student question. Spike has traits. The patterns on his body, his size, these traits are coded for in his DNA. Some of the traits he inherited can be
Okay. What are some examples of the traits? Click all that apply. Can you please come up here and click them all, the one that applies?
Can I bring my paper?
Yes, you may. Thank you for asking. Yeah, in the box. In the box. Oh, you want, okay, we can either do that way or here. Go ahead. There you go. Pattern of spike bodies. How long spike is. And a color of spike scales. Go ahead and submit, please. Good job. All right, next one.
influenced by the environment. For example, if Spike had not had the nourishment he needed, that could affect his size. DNA is not just one big code buried deep down in an organism like some treasure. Spike's DNA is in the nuclei of nearly all of his body cells. He inherited his DNA from his mother and father. I can't know for sure what Spike's parents look like, but I do know that Spike...
Okay. It says what, excuse me, original of a cell is the DNA found in. Nucleus, let's try it, let's see. Good job. Next one.
Spike inherited his DNA from them. One fun fact, many snake species can reproduce asexually. Had that been the case for Spike, he would have inherited all of his DNA from only one parent. But it would still be DNA coding for traits. Just like Spike, your DNA codes for your traits, and your cells can't function without it. DNA determines how tall you are, what color your eyes are, what color your hair is, or even if you're at risk for certain diseases. Also, like Spike, your entire DNA code is in most of your body's cells. That's why in those crime-solving shows, which we may or may not absolutely love, a criminal can sometimes be caught by just leaving a cell from a hair follicle behind.
Criminal mind. So here it says, true or false, a criminal can be caught when one single hair follicle cell is left behind because both cells contain your entire sequence of DNA. True or false?
True.
Good job. Let's see.
DNA has a beautiful structure, and that structure will help you understand how inheritance works. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. It's a type of nucleic acid. If you remember from our biomolecules video, nucleic acids are a type of biomolecule. Nucleic acids are made up of building blocks called nucleotides. Nucleotides have 3 parts. One of them is a sugar called deoxyribose. One of them is a phosphate.
Yep.
We sometimes say DNA has a sugar-phosphate backbone. But the most important part of the nucleotide is the base, because the sequence of the bases can actually code for traits. So as far as the bases go, there are 4 types of bases in DNA. A lot of times they'll just use the letters A, T, C, G. The A is for adenine, the T is for thymine, the C is for cytosine, and the G is for guanine. These bases actually pair in a specific way. And there's a popular mnemonic that can help you remember which of them pair together. Apples in the tree, that tells you the A for apples, T for tree, because the bases A and T go together.
Yes.
The other verse is car in the garage, and that can help you remember the base C always goes with the base G.
Yep.
Regardless of whether we're talking about Spike, or a plant, or a protist, or a human like you, these are the DNA bases in living organisms. But the amount of DNA bases overall, and the sequence of those bases we mentioned, will vary among different species, and also among different individuals. But it's likely to infer that Spike has a sequence of DNA bases that is more similar to his parents than he would to, say, a rattlesnake. DNA has 2 strands, so there are nucleotides running up one side, and there's nucleotides running up the other side. The bases are what pair.
Okay, multiple choice. How can those bases vary? You want to speak up a little bit, the air conditioner just came on, so.
B,
You said, which one is B?
amount and sequence.
This one here? Oh, this one, D. Oh, you said D. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. That's why I was saying the air conditioner came on, I couldn't hear you, sorry. All right, let's see. Yep, good job.
Air in the middle. The bases are held together by hydrogen bonds. The DNA is also twisted in something we call a double helix shape. Portions of DNA make up genes. We can say, for example, that this part of the DNA here makes up a gene. Genes can code for proteins. Proteins have a huge role in expressing a trait. For example,
Okay, where are the genes found at? Can you come up here and do this one, please? You can bring your paper with you, if you need to. The box, yeah, good job. You submit, please? Good job. Thank you. Alrighty, we're almost done with this. Bill, gonna bring this down?
Human eye color is actually pretty complex. It's determined by many genes. The genes can code for proteins involved in producing the eye color pigment. But proteins coded for by genes, they can play a wide variety of roles besides just your eye color. Proteins are involved in transport, in structure, in acting as enzymes that can make all kinds of materials, in protecting the body, and so much more. We do want to mention.
Alright, what are the proteins so important? Click all that applies. And I have you one last time come up here on the screen. I know you don't like getting up, but I appreciate your help to assist. Support. Yeah. Good job. Thank you.
Mentioned that not all genes are used to make protein, and there are parts of DNA that are non-coding. And even though nearly all of your body cells have your entire DNA code, your body cells may only use certain portions of those genes. Genes can be turned on or turned off by a variety of mechanisms. We call that gene regulation. Check out our video on that. Now, you have
Alright, so far, what is the correct order for the smallest to the greatest? Which one is it? Cell DNA chromosome, gene DNA chromosome. Which one?
have a
Good
lot
job.
of DNA. When it's compacted, it can be organized into a unit called a chromosome. Very helpful when you're trying to make more cells and you need to get DNA into those new cells. Chromosomes in your body involve DNA wrapped around protein structures. Humans have 46 chromosomes. That means nearly every body cell in your body has 46 chromosomes. Human sperm and egg cells, on the other hand, each contain 23 chromosomes. So you receive 23 chromosomes
We're talking
from
about
your
on the
mother,
last one.
23 chromosomes from your father, to give you your 46 chromosomes, your genetic code.
True or false? Not everyone has a 46 chromosome. True or false?
True.
You say true? Good job.
So let's do a recap of the big picture. Here's a single chromosome. You see genes on this chromosome. These genes consist of portions of DNA. DNA is made up of nucleotides, and it's these bases here, the sequence of them, that makes the difference in coding for traits. Understanding this foundation is essential for understanding heredity, whether you're talking about you or spike. So this may bring up more questions now, like where do dominant and recessive traits come in? What about alleles? How do you arrange those around the Punnett square? And you can explain.
Alright, it says what is the order of the level of organization from the smallest, largest to the greatest? So now they got it out a little bit more so you guys can see it. Which one do you think?
Gene, DNA, chromosome, and protein cell.
This one here? Good job. So pretty much we're at the end of it. This is the last one. You can either come up here and tell us, or you can say it out loud to the classroom. But it's today's explain why inheritance is important for living organisms. I can't hear you.
What is it here?
Yes, but speak up, because I can barely hear you over the air conditioning, please.
Heredity is important because it allows traits to be passed from parent to offspring. This ensures that the species can survive and adapt by inheriting characteristics such as body structure, behaviors, and abilities needed for survival and reproduction. It also explains similarities between family members and contributes to diversity in the population.
All right. Okay, so let us go to the next one. And I gotta mark something on it, so. Where's my keyboard? I'm gonna put in here, she answered out loud. Okay, I'm supposed to say out loud. Sorry, guys. My finger don't wanna work today. All right, and then the last one, which, oh no, we already did that one. It was two of them. It gave us two of the same thing, so sorry. And next question, we already did that.
More of
And
those concepts and more in our heredity playlist. Well, that's it for the Amoeba Sisters, and remind you to stay curious.
And then last one they left us here is, how do proteins connect genes to traits?
Genes are instructions coded in DNA. These instructions tell cells how to build the proteins. The proteins then carry out jobs in the body such as building structures, controlling chemical reactions, and influencing how traits like your eye color or your height or your blood type are expressed.
Okay. All right, she read it out loud. All right, let's go ahead, wrap everything up. Put your paper over there. I'm so sorry, because the bell is about to ring, so this time we actually got done before time, which is so good. All right, you guys, until tomorrow, have a good day.